Oh, what's good, folk? How y'all doing tonight? It's your man Donald King, back at it again. I'm dumb. I do stupid shit. I don't know why. Anyway, this is podcast episode 30. I actually done 30 of these already. It's crazy. I actually done more, but it's like, well, shit, 30 is the official number. That's what I'm going with. How y'all doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing good. Yeah, man, just out here Rick Rossing it, as Riley from the Boondocks would say. You know, it's interesting. I went to sing earlier today, man, and it's like apparently I don't have a voice anymore. It's insane. I don't know is that what happens? Is that why the Bee Gees and all these old artists, they go real heavy into their vibrato and and it's like their tone is off, but everyone's like, yes, you did that, you did that. I'm like, why are y'all geeking them up? They sound awful, and then all of a sudden it's like I went today and I tried to sing. I was like, oh, and then So what was it? What was I trying to sing? I was trying to sing. Let me see. I'm about to embarrass myself. I think I tried to do Kenny Lattimore's "For You." I was like, let me see. This is gonna be bad. It's like, for, and also because I know where the notes are supposed to be, that'd be messing me up as well. Because when I'm off, then all of a sudden it's like I become aware of the fact I'm up. For you, I give a lifetime of stability. Anything you want of me. Nothing is impossible for you. I give my heart and soul and everything, and now to them a wedding ring. Terrible. Because this life is, see, there we go. Because this life is no good alone. Nope. See? I guess it's age. It's terrible. So, man, y'all are in control of this one, bruh. I'm gonna hold the fort down, but I kind of looking for y'all to chime in with your questions and responses and whatnot. I'll talk about some filler shit in the meantime. I came across something the other day that really bothered me, right? And it was this sort of premise, this idea of a false prophet, right? False prophets. You know, I've been called this throughout the years. I've been called an antichrist, a false prophet, and all these other things. But I actually want to attach it to a larger concept. It's a lot of people out here are these fake gurus. These fake gurus, they get on my nerves. Kind of like fake alphas. You know what I'm saying? Fake alpha energy is weak. It's weak. I don't like fake. I don't like false shit. Right? So when you have these fake gurus and or false prophets, how do you know when someone is a false prophet? The same way that you know that someone is a fake alpha. They try to appeal to ideologues. They try to appeal to people's inner stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if someone who's a fake, like a fake spiritual leader or something like that, first thing they're going to try and do is they're going to try to appeal to people's desires for comfort and to feel accepted and love. We can solve everything with love. We can solve everything with good feelings and positive wishes and all that other stuff. Bullshit. Bullshit. You can't fix real structural problems with good feelings. I was talking to my brother Donald Jones the other night, man. Love this dude. We was hanging out. And, you know, I was talking to him about some stuff, the personal work that I do, and that I'm in the process of doing after suffering some pretty, like, you know, soul crippling, heartaches in life. And it's kind of like I'm not just going to sit down here and give myself positive affirmations, not when there's real internal work that needs to be done. You can't fix everything with good feelings. And like I was telling him, if you get shot and there's a bullet lodged in your leg, in order for you to heal, you're not going to be able to put a little bandage over top of it. You can't skip straight to the feel-good part. You're going to have to brave up. You're going to have to use something sharp, get in there, hurt yourself even more to cut the bullet out, hurt yourself even more to sew this shit up, irrigate it, which is going and clean it out with like maybe some alcohol or an antiseptic, which is going to cause you even more hurt. And then you can patch it up and get to the feel good part. But you got to do the essential work first. You got to do the essential work. And this is what every fake spiritual leader and every false prophet has in common. They try to skip directly to the feel good part. There's real work to be done. There's real fucking work to be done. You don't get out here and say, oh guys, we can fix everything with positive thinking and affirmation. Let's skip straight to everybody being vegan and everybody doing the higher work and just deep social acting. Bullshit. Everybody, if we all just believe the same thing, then we'll all get along. Bullshit, because belief can't hold. Beliefs are agreements you make with yourself. If these agreements you make with yourself aren't shared by everyone, then all of a sudden the agreement you make with yourself is going to conflict with the agreement this person makes with themselves. So even if everyone believes everything exactly the same, it can only last for a fraction of a second. And then everybody's inner stories are going to start becoming divergent. And before you know it, it's going to be factions and tribalism and all this other stuff. You can't fix real deep, like structural problems with surface and veneer treatments. You can't do it. So every fucking false prophet that comes out here, including every antichrist and all those other things, they're trying to appeal to your belief. They're trying to appeal to your inner story. They're trying to get everybody to be on the same page with a type of belief. And in so, they're blocking out information and reality. They're blocking out information and reality because they're trying to get everybody to dial into a shared inner story. Okay, cool. So let me see. Ooh, we got some people on there. Hey, let me see. Brother Gabe, what is it that we need to do in the near future to better all of us? To be honest with you, everybody needs to start practicing honesty. Straight up fucking honesty. And not honesty, not convenient honesty, not honesty that points out all the things that we form beliefs about in the world. Like being honest doesn't have to do with just sharing what's in your inner story with people. It's about literally setting aside the identity, setting aside the inner story, and really starting to take information and reality in and starting to piece shit together. It's literally like syncing up with reality. Here's the deal. Everybody's trying to drag the world and all of the players and all of the actor into the series and sets of meanings that they've agreed to with themselves, and that's how they think they're going to fix the world. Fuck that shit. Put aside the inner story. We need to start recognizing, dialing into, and syncing up with reality. That's where we start. We can't so think about it like this. Imagine we're all living in a house, right? We're living in a house and let's see, there's a pipe burst here. There's a leak in the roof over here. The floorboards are gone out over here. And we're like, yo, this house is falling to pieces. But everybody in the house is playing a different video game. Trying to get everybody to come and play the same video game isn't going to fucking fix the house, is it? Nah. We need to set the games aside, set the stories aside, and be like, yo, hey, we got to fix this shit. Going deeper into our games, going deeper into our stories, isn't going to fix the real structural problems in the house. So that's how we start moving forward. Everybody set aside these goddamn identities, set aside these desires to feel important and special, and start syncing up with what's going on in the real world. Sister Tiara! Love you, girl. We need to catch up. Hey, what is in your cup is eating your vocal cords. Probably, but it's like, you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. I was actually trying to sing before I had my Joe. I use this to dial in because sometimes it's like I go a lot of nights without sleep. I tell everybody about being an avatar. This role, it comes with It's a lot. It's a lot. And sometimes, man, it's like, especially when I got a lot of stuff going on in my mind and I'm trying to juggle, I'm always juggling multiple hats. I'm always juggling multiple cups. I have multiple cups. Yeah, cups that I'm juggling and sipping out of them at the same time. And it becomes a lot. So getting scatterbrains when sort of performing through this role is very easy to do. And when I'm trying to sort of speed up my neural process and get my ego parasite to dial into translating principles quickly and more efficiently, I'll look to Joe sometimes to get me sort of situated in that way. Now, if I weren't trying to do this in a structured format, then I'd probably just shoot from the hip and just let myself dial in naturally. But that usually takes, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes. And a lot of times when I start the podcast, I'm ready to go then. So it's like, it's just a way to help speed speed the process up. Let me see. What's J up 7? That's a damn good question, brother Eric. I have no idea. I've never heard of that before. J up 7. I'm gonna have to Google that shit. I don't even know. My girl, Tiara, love you. Let me see. All right, so Tiffany asks, what do you mean being an avatar? Okay, cool. So let's explain that. All right, so I'm something called an avatar. Now, I didn't come up with this term. It's actually been in circulation for many years. Avatar in the Hindu faith system, they refer to it as a fleshly manifestation of a deity. All right. Now, that's close, but not quite. All right. So in the Christian faith system, they refer to the avatar perspective, an entity that I presently house right now, as Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit. I didn't believe in any of this stuff before. I was an atheist, and then somehow, through a series of events I had no control over, I got transported over to the other side of existence, or what humans would refer to as heaven. And there I met the entity that we would rightfully refer to as God. And it turns out that I'm housing a living entity that allows me to see reality in accordance to principles, or in what humans would refer to as binary. So avatar is the person, avatar perspective or Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit is the entity that's housed within the person that basically changes, that imbues them with a type of sight that allows them to see reality in almost like perfect pitch. All right. So it's in absolute pitch. So basically that's what it is. So the Hindu faith system came close, but not quite. It's an actual entity that takes up residence inside of a human host, and through no fault or achievement of my own, I just happen to be that individual for this cycle. Hopefully I answered that well enough for you. Brother, absurd the word! What's good with you, man? Yeah. Attempting to bring the world into your inner story sounds a lot like consuming. Is it the good old let me eat you for your benefit trick? Yeah, man, I fucking love you, bro. Yes. Yes, man, your connective reasoning these days is off the charts. You're really piecing this stuff together, man. Like a champion. Yes, that's what it is. So, and I'll take it to the meta scale. So what's happening on the planet right now with humans? We're all expecting the end of the world and this like whole battle between good and evil, and or between reality and corruption. Again, reality is the phenomenon we refer to as God. Corruption is what we would refer to as devil. Hence, agents of corruption are always awful. They create intentionally, more times than not, they create imbalances, which, again, parasites are agents of corruption. And then there's reality, which is the host in natural organization, or which is the source of truth in natural organization. Now, you have to understand that right now, what we're dealing with is the universe we presently reside within. These are twins. This is a twin that is a host that's being consumed and cannibalized by a parasitic twin right now. So every disease you can think of, every virus, every virion, every parasite, they all trace back to the structural building blocks of this parasitic twin. The reason why avatars exist is because reality, the meta system itself, is called a cease and desist to the aggressor cells of the parasitic twin. Reality itself, or what we would refer to as God, is like corrupt life form. You're about to be fused to your sibling. You are now going to be conjoined twins. Any cell that does not change its coding, any cell that does not transform to a neutral state and that remains in an aggressor state, you are no longer aggressing against the body of your sibling. You are now in competition against me. I don't play that shit. When I say stop, stop immediately. The reason why it's important for me to explain that to you is because that what you said right here, attempting to bring the world into your inner story, is a lot like consuming, because it goes back to parasitism. A parasitic twin is trying to consume and transform the body of its sibling. It is addicted. And reality is giving it a chance to come out of this addiction to cannibalizing its sibling, or it's going to it's going to forcibly remove corruption from the aggressor cells in the worst way imaginable. All right, cool. So, Sister Tiara comes back. How do you keep your balance with such a sensitivity to energies and awareness? Great question, sis. It's hard. Oh my God. I'm burnt the fuck out. I am tired. Oh man, I've been through so many heartaches this year, so many heartbreaks. I mean, like, man, my soul is weary. I'm weary. This shit is lonely. I tell people this all the time. If I knew what being an avatar was on the front end, if I knew what it entailed, and I could see how difficult this was going to be down the road, it's a pretty good chance I probably would have bailed on the front end. I'm glad that it didn't work out that way, because, you know, I understand, after being able to see everything through this perspective, I understand why it's essential and why you have to power through, and that it doesn't have anything to do with your own comfort zone. But staying balanced, the only way I stay balanced is just with honesty. It's just with honesty. It goes back to the point that I was making earlier. You know, if let's say, for instance, I was a false prophet and or an antichrist or any of those other things, because I have a strong desire and inclination to be consistent with reality. If I ever found out I was the wrong guy, the bad guy, it's no sweat off my back to be like, yo, I fucked up. I was wrong. My bad. How do I get right? So there's never a situation where I have a core set of beliefs that I have to cling to. And because I don't have a core set of beliefs that I have to cling to, I'm able to retain mental elasticity. So in the event that it's like, I'm off, I can adapt to how things are in real time, as opposed to trying to defeat reality that disagrees with me and what I feel or believe is correct. Again, I'm describing what I see through the avatar perspective. I'm describing what I see. I'm not saying that I necessarily believe what I see, which is why I allow myself to be tested by everything ranging from cowardly ideologues all the way to the very best discovery this species has to offer. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that I want is to be consistent with reality. And as long as I'm striving to be consistent with reality, I think it's easy for my soul to remain balanced. If you move in a state of honesty and you're always using reasoning, again, honesty is the individual's will and effort to recognize and be in sync with reality. And reasoning is using the mental faculties to suss out what's most consistent with reality. If you're always relying on those things, and you're always moving in the direction of God, how are you going to be off? That's the way I see it, at least. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, I thank you. Thank you for asking. Let me tell you something. Look, I know that you're of the Christian faith system, and I have the highest respect for individuals who use Christianity as a tool to for self betterment. You know, it's a lot of folks out here that use religion as a weapon, and they go around and they try to beat people over the head like it's a cudgel that makes them, superior to others. So their belief system is something that imbues them with a sense of authority over other people, and as such, it turns them into really aggressive assholes. Then you have people who use religion as a tool, as a means for self refinement, and as a way to and as a tool to sort of sync themselves up with their own sense of honesty. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of bravery for people who have core belief systems to step forward and ask questions, because there's always the risk of losing some element of what you hold dear and you sort of base your identity on. Funny thing about it is every person who's really given to honesty in their faith system, who's really given to the honest elements of their faith system, they come to me and we speak and we sync up, and they find out that I don't really take anything away from what they hold dear and at the core of their identity. All I do is enhance it. I just give it a different, I blow up all the different ways that it can be applied. So, and again, I'm saying this as a dude who was formerly an atheist. You know what it's like to be an atheist and to be face to face with God, a self-professed atheist, and be face to face with God? It's like, and again, it's like I'm not the reason for it. So I didn't say this, like I didn't sit on the side of a hill and meditate for a million years and sit here learn how to find the meaning in a leaf or any of that other shit. I didn't do all that other stuff. It just got dropped in my lap. So it's like, imagine being face to face with the entity that you would refer to as God. And, it didn't have to say anything, but it's kind of like, big dogging you, like, so you was talking shit, huh? It was crazy, man. It's insane. I still am kind of, it's very embarrassing, one. But then it's like when you meet all the other avatars, like I met, and I didn't know all their names when it went down. So it's like, but it's like, it was quite a few of them, but it's like, I think I'm cycle 13 or some shit like that. So, Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan, Lao Tzu, the Buddha, the individual that the Christian faith system refers to as Jesus, and and several others also, including Gandhi, and they all hosted this entity before me. I met these people, and you're sitting here, and it's like, I spent years of my life telling people, trying to convince people who believed in such things that they were ridiculous and that no such individual could exist. And lo and behold, I turn out to be living proof of the fact that I was wrong. I was a raging narcissist when all this went down. I was a genius, or so I thought. And I was a self-made man. And it all stemmed from trauma. It all stemmed from a lot of psychological abuse I endured growing up. And like a lot of people who are traumatized, I created this false front. And that false front, it became my sword and shield, my identity. It became my sword and shield that I made it through life with. Growing up, I was always told that I was ugly and stupid. And I internalized those messages. So all of a sudden, when somebody gave me validation, I clung to it, and I became so incredibly afraid to lose it that it turned me into a raging asshole. And having to lose my identity in order to understand reality and get synced up with everything that's happening right now, That was a heavy loss. Like I had to get humbled, man. And when I say humbled, I mean like I had to go to people who I didn't even like and beg for help. I had to sleep on people's floors. I lost all my material possessions in the world. I lost the character of Donald King. It's a hard loss. It's like, because then you not only question what you are still able to do, you question if you ever really did anything at all. It's tough. It's tough. So yeah, man, it's a it's a trip. It's a trip. Good and bad. Good and bad. But I'm going to tell you something. I started touching on this a little bit earlier. I hate fake alpha energy, man. It's a lot of people, especially when it's like I'm dealing with females and whatnot. And it's like, ladies, I'm free now. When I'm dealing with females, I don't like fake alpha energy. I'm going to tell you this right now. There are alphas, there are betas, and then I'm something called a meta. All right? That means basically what you are, you're going to see in me. I'm going to reflect you back to you with laser precision and accuracy. Reflect you back to you with laser precision and accuracy. All right? So, if you're a confident person, you're going to see me as confident. If you're a true leader, you're going to be very comfortable in my presence. If you're a beta pretending to be an alpha, like you one of those chest thumping people who go around trying to act tough and being loud, force your will on shit, I'm gonna scare the fuck out of you, because I'm gonna show you all your weaknesses. All you're gonna want to do is compete against me. A lot of women, they're attracted to beta males pretending to be alphas. And and the only reason why I even touch on what females are attracted to is because it sort of perpetuates this cycle where you have all of these dudes who are only good at being false alphas that get encouraged. So it's a cycle. They get encouraged into being false alphas because they're trying to get the woman, and the women are attracted to these weak men pretending to be strong. It's problematic. It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. So you sit down here and you have these dudes who are only good at violence. They're only good at violence, or they're only good at feigning assertiveness and making snap decisions and being impulsive and things of this nature. It's not real. Why is that a problem? The most powerful men in the world the most potent men in the world are nonviolent. When you look at somebody like Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Stephen Biko or Nelson Mandela or Cesar Chavez, you have these men, or Jesus, you have these men who changed the entire course of history without ever firing a bullet or throwing a single punch. Meta men. They're brave. They're rooted in who they are. They don't have to chest thump. They don't have to act or feign toughness. No acting, no bravado. Yet they get the most done. They affect generations. They change entire regions. And in some cases, the entire world. And what they look for are meta women. Or women who have the potential to become metas. But it's like if you can even deal with an alpha, but you can't deal with a beta pretending to be an alpha. They suck. Betas attract betas. Betas that want to be alphas attract betas that want to be alphas. It's insane. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. So it's like, hey, You look like someone who would be an authority figure. Yeah, you look like someone who needs an authority figure, so I'm gonna show you that I'm an authority figure. And you sit down here like, neither one of you are real leaders. You're people who are given to authority, and authority is some beta shit. Wow, that's weak. It's weak, and you're sort of perpetuating this myth that you're tough. It was this. What was the name of that movie? I can't recall the name of the movie, but it was of Mark Wahlberg, and he was a professor, an English professor, or a writing professor, or something like that. And in it, he was talking about how genius is so rare, how genius is so fucking rare, and oh God, you know what? I'll post the video clip underneath this stream when I'm done. But he was talking about how genius is rare, and he was talking about how he would never amount to being a good writer. And one of his students was like, "Oh, but you're already a published writer, and you're a great writer." He was like, "No, no, no. I am not a writer. I am not a writer. It's like, I don't want to be some mediocre talent who is edified by a bunch of other mediocre talents and who's uplifted to the level of genius by a bunch of mediocre talents. No, I already know that, the best I can hope to be is a professor. But this young girl right here, she's a real genius." If I switch that framing, this person right here is a real alpha. They're a real leader. They're a real impactful person. I don't want to be around a bunch of people who don't know the difference between someone acting the part and someone being the part. I don't want to be around a bunch of people who don't know the difference between a real alpha and a beta pretending to be an alpha. You understand what I'm saying? And me being a meta, I'm more comfortable around real alphas anyway. Jesus Christ. But they're so rare. Jesus Christ. Me being a meta. Goodwill Hunting. Yes, to your... wait, hold. All right, I skipped a few. All right, so Brother Absurd asks, how do you go about dealing with the false front when it controls almost every aspect of your interactions, from choices in music to your friends and family, where their reaction to trauma precedes awareness? Excellent question. Jesus Christ, you're so good. So how to deal with the frost front? That's a tough one, because in order to deal with the frost front, a lot of times I have to really push people's level of aggression in order to get them to a point where they've drained themselves of energy trying to fight me and defeat me, and then all of a sudden, once that bravado is gone, they have a moment of clarity where they realize, damn, I'm not going to beat this dude. When they have that moment of clarity, then that's when the real conversation can begin. Like, I just want, more than anything, I'm never, when I'm engaged with people who hide behind the false front, I have to do what I can to snap them into reality. So what snaps ideologues into reality, 9 times out of 10, is aggression or competition. That's the closest you can get to sort of snapping them into reality. So think about it like this. Imagine a person is riding down the street on their phone. Now, the fact that there are all sorts of cars passing around them, the fact that they're driving 10 miles below the speed limit, nothing pulls them away from them self-idealizing and sort of being lost in their inner story, being a danger to everyone around them, right? Until someone speeds past them and starts racing. Then all of a sudden someone speeds past them and start racing, and then all of a sudden they put their phone down and they're driving as fast as they can because they want to race. Then all of a sudden they're dialed into the environment. They're dialed into what's happening around them. I use that mechanism to sort of get people to pay attention sometimes. Like, yo, it's not about you. Fucking fall back. You're not the star. But I know that you don't want to see me be the star. So, hey, let me outperform you real quick so I can get you to fucking pay attention. If that makes sense. And to even, dealing with the false front when it controls almost every aspect of my interactions, I'll be honest in saying it's tough a lot of times. Shit, it's tough. It's draining. I'd much rather deal with people who are honest and who want to understand than I would deal with dumbasses who only want to compete. You know what I'm saying? It's draining. I mean, like I said, if anybody knew what this role entailed on the front end, nobody in their right mind would sign up for it. It's draining, it's tiring, it's lonely. It's just full of heartache and misery and suffering, and it's essential. And if you let the experience do what it's supposed to do, it'll turn you into the altered beast. At least that's how it's worked in my experience. And as much as I talk about how taxing it is, I'd be remiss to not note that I'm grateful for all the ways in which it's transformed me into something better. I'm never operating from a space of piety, because I can't point a finger at a single narcissist without pointing 3 back at myself. I've been there. I know what it is, which is the reason why it's like I understand why entity would choose somebody like me. I've been through enough of the shit myself to understand what it is at a fundamental level, and then also understand why it doesn't serve anything to stand in a space of judgment and not engage people where they're at. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that answered your question well enough. Sister Tierra, Good Will Hunting, that was one of them. And I said Matt Damon, I think, but was it Matt Damon? Was it Matt? Was it Matt Damon? I think it was Matt Damon. Rounders? Is that what it was? But it wasn't Good Will Hunting, but Good Will Hunting was also another genius movie that Matt Damon, and it was Mark Wahlberg. It was Mark Wahlberg, not Matt Damon. So thank you for pointing that out. Sister Isha, hey, how you doing, mama? Hey, yo, we about to chop it up before too long. I got you. I got you. I'll probably try and hit you up a little bit later on, because we got to chop it up. But yeah, man. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking at my stream. I was like, did I freeze? What? So, yeah, fake alpha energy. Betas pretending to be alphas because you know how to weaponize violence. Stop. You're not leaders. You're not tough people. You're not. The toughest people, they impact the entire world. They impact the entire regions with presence alone. With presence alone. If you can't accomplish it by just being in a space and transforming the space like you're a fucking Super Saiyan leveling up, and the whole world shakes around you, you're not an alpha. Stop. Anybody can punch and kick things. Anybody can shoot things and try to act tough. Aggressiveness is not a sign of strength. Impulsiveness is not a sign of strength. If you don't have the ability to transform the world around you with will and will alone, you're a beta pretending to be an alpha. Stop. Cut that shit out. It's not cute. Anyway, I bequeath thee. No. What the fuck was that? I bequeath. What am I giving to somebody? I bequeath thee with thine word. Hello, sir. I have fun. So yeah, man. This is podcast episode 30. Wow, man. This time has flown. Jeez. I only shoot 2 of these a week. And I wasn't even doing that in the beginning. And apparently I've ripped my pants. That is a shame. I like these jeans. They were delicious. Oh man, I'm about to be 45, dog. Can you believe that shit? What the fuck? How many years have I'm fortunate in that I've aged fairly well. Not as graceful and debonair as I once was, but it's like, I still got a little bit of strength in these old bones. Go running, get her done. Ah man, it's like I'm still mad that my voice seems to be disappearing. I don't know what it was. I was trying to sing some of my own songs the other night. That's the problem. All right, So, being like a genie. You know the big problem with being like a genie? Genies can't grant their own wishes. That is the dumbest shit, but I understand why. Kinda. So, again, I'm an entity. By proxy of an entity I'm hosting. So, I'm an entity. The problem is, I can't be in service to myself. So, like, if I'm working with an artist, I'll get the artist to do amazing things, generally, depending on their level of talent, because I'm an enhancer. But on the back end, even though I can write songs, I can't sing any of the songs I write. My core strength is in enhancing others, which is good. Like I can invent things if I want to. I can invent an entire industry just because I want to. I understand the principles for how to actually build intelligence from the ground up, right? I understand the principles for how to build intelligence from the ground up. But my strength comes in helping others achieve. And that's kind of good. That's kind of a good setup, because in the way that it works in reality, or at least according to how I see it through this perspective, I'm never allowed to make myself the focus. Like if you had supernatural gifts of intellect, right? And you could actually see what everybody was trying to get to, if you could see the space, but you had to actually, I don't know, help people get there so that you could get there too, then you bring people there with you. You don't just go there by yourself. And, you know, if it were in my hands, I would have been like, no, I'm gonna build myself all the way up, and then I'll help people when I'm done. And the way that God kind of has it set up, it's like, nah, you're gonna help people get there. And as you help people get there, you'll get there too. And I'm like, touche, well done. Well done. I can see that's a much better design than what I would have come up with. Darkness, people. Anyway, yo, I am done with this podcast, episode 30. Yo, y'all already know it's your man. I'm shooting this on Facebook Live, obviously. But you can catch me on Instagram. You can catch me on YouTube. You can catch me on Medium. You know, you can always join the Patreon family. Y'all can really join the Patreon family. Like, really, you can sign up and join the Patreon family. Hey, Donald, I think the value you bring to the world is worth a couple of bucks here and there, so that it's like you can build this up to a larger platform and reach more people. That's my way of helping reality be heard. It's not hard. You can be like, hey, let me help this guy because there's value in what he's saying. I would appreciate it. Everything goes towards building this up to a larger platform. You can also, if you ever get any sort of benefit or appreciation from what I'm doing, and you just want to bless your boy with a little bit of love, you're like, hey, Don, that was a good sermon you did today. I got more out of that than I did in the sermon on Sunday. And then, hey, man, here's a little bit. Let me throw a little some love in the collection plate. You can always cash at me. Everything goes to building this up to a larger platform. I don't know how long I'm going to be in this body. I don't even know how long the Avatar perspective will cooperate with the species. It is what it is. So, all the negative impacts you've made on reality, I can't make any sort of promises on reality's behalf, but I can say this. Doing what you can to help clear the path for reality to be heard, it doesn't work to your disadvantage. It doesn't work to your disadvantage at all. You might want to get on that. I'm just saying. I'll leave it at that. Yo, Brother Gabriel, I love you, man. I love you. I was going to say, I hate when I accidentally meld words together. I said, I love you, man. I was going to say, bro, man. It's just coming out the wrong way. I love you, Brian. But yeah, man. Hey, we definitely got to get up. You already know, man. Honor and a privilege to know you, man. You're one of the most solid motherfuckers I know. You're a good guy. It's an honor to know you, man. So, anywho, your man is about to sign out. I'm just saying, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I thank all of y'all for tuning in through this period. I do. I really do. I really do appreciate everybody who's given me your ear and who's given me some love and who's interacted with me. Y'all are good. Hey, y'all all right with me? You are. I appreciate you. It's your man. I'm out.